Adam was a successful businessman. He had worked his way up from humble beginnings, building a thriving company that provided for him and his family. He was well respected in his community, known for his integrity, sharp mind, and dedication to his work. Yet, despite his success, Adam was never too busy for his family, especially for his 2-year-old son. Every morning, Adam would wake up early, the sun barely peeking over the horizon. He would tiptoe into Noah's room, careful not to wake him, and gently kiss his son's forehead. Noah would stir, letting out a soft murmur before his eyes fluttered open. Adam smiled, watching the little boy's face light up with recognition. "Good morning, my sunshine," he'd whisper. As a father who worked from home, Adam had the luxury of being with Noah every day. The office was just a few steps away from the living room. But to Noah, his father was always present. Adam had designed his schedule carefully, balancing business calls and meetings with moments of joy with his son. He didn't mind the interruption of the occasional toy truck rolling into his workspace, or the little voice calling out, "Daddy, look," as Noah proudly displayed his latest creation with building blocks. Whenever David had meetings, he would take him to creche, then pick him up later when he got back. Noah's mother was also running a fast food restaurant in town. She had just opened it 2 months ago, and that kept her very busy until late. But David didn't mind babysitting. One day Noah started vomiting excessively when they were sleeping. It had passed midnight, and her mother, Margaret, suggested they take him to the doctor, but Adam hesitated, saying, "You worry too much, my love. Kids do get these small sicknesses from time to time, he's probably teething." And they gave him some homemade remedies and went back to sleep. This sickness started getting worse by the day, followed by some rash on his arm, heart and neck. But Adam brushed it off again. Due to Margaret's busy schedule, she didn't have enough time to take care of Noah properly, and knowing that his father is their made her to feel very comfortable with everything. One weekend when Adam was away on business, Noah said to his mom, "Mommy, why does Dad always make me eat that white soup from his body? It is not nice at all, it makes me feel dizzy, it's disgusting, I don't like it." Instead of Margaret to listen to his son, she shouted at him, saying, "You should stop disturbing your dad with too much drama. That man works very hard taking care of you while working at the same time. Do you hear me, Noah?" "Mom, I don't want to eat that thing anymore," days Noah crying. But Margaret did not pay attention to him anymore, as she thought he was talking about food or something else. She was just too tired to pay attention, as she was on a weekend off. On Monday, Noah suggested that he wanted to go to work with his mom, as he doesn't want to play that game that him and his dad always play. But instead of Margaret to listen to his son, she scolded him and told him to respect his father, since he is working very hard looking after him while he also has to work. Noah just started crying, and his father came from the bedroom and picked him up and started comforting him. "I heard what you said to Mommy before she left," Adam said, holding a knife pointing on his private part. "Do you know what happens to little boys who say things like that to anyone? I will cut it and remove your eyes. After that you will turn into a dog." "Do you want to turn into a dog, Noah?" "No, Daddy, I'm sorry, I'll never say anything to Mommy again. Please do not turn me into a dog," says Noah as he continues crying. "Good boy, 'cause if you ever say anything again, I'll kill your mommy as well. Then call the police to come and arrest you after cutting this and removing your eyes. Your mommy will die and the police will take far away. Very far away, 'cause they hate dogs. Now tell me, do you love your daddy?" Noah nodded very fast, agreeing to whatever he was saying. Adam, his father, then started to unbutton his pants and ordered Noah to come and suck it as he had taught him. "If you don't do this, Noah, the police will arrest you and take you away. But if you do this properly, I'll protect you from the police." This used to happen at least twice a day. Afterwards he would be ordered to watch cartoons, as Noah was no longer playful enough to enjoy his toys. As time went by, Noah started losing a lot of weight and his skin turning pale. But his dad suggested he was going to take him to the doctor immediately in the morning. And Margaret was relieved that she didn't have to abandon his work anymore. But he didn't. He just went to the pharmacy to buy some medicine and pretended that the doctor had prescribed that medication. In the first week he seemed to recover. But one morning he fainted before his mother could go to work, and this really frightened Margaret, who quickly rushed him to hospital together with his dad. This time David didn't have a choice but to participate. Tests were taken on what could be wrong with Noah, and the doctor said his parents should come back in a week for the results. Adam was starting to realize that the results can get him caught and make up a story of going to another province on a business trip. Although his bags seemed like they were a lot for just a trip of 1 week, Margaret did not want to interfere, as he might be going fishing, camping and other activities as well. The next day Margaret went to the clinic with Noah to get the results. The doctor asked for Noah to get admitted immediately while he talks with his mom, and thus really frightened Margaret. "Doctor, what is it? What's going on with my son? He seemed to be recovering, just a too much tiredness sometimes. What is going on?" Before they could proceed, the doctor asked where Noah's father was, as this kind of news needed both parents. Margaret told the doctor that Adam left yesterday for a business trip. The doctor explained to Margaret that they had found adult ARV medication in Noah's blood system, and that was the one which was making him faint from overdose, since the medication was not meant for kids, and that when they tested Noah for HIV, the results came back positive. Then doctor told Margaret that it was also checked if he was born with it, and the results showed that the HIV infection is not more than 7 months old. He further asked Margaret, who at that time was frozen, trying to ingest all the bad news and trying to find answers on how or where Noah could have gotten that disease. 'Cause according to her knowledge, her and her husband were HIV negative. "If I may ask, what is your status? Yours and your husband's?" "Negative, doctor," with her eyes wide open. She then asked some few minutes to call her husband, but before she could call, there was an SMS that was there since morning, but she hadn't checked it yet. "You will not believe me if I tell you that." It was an SMS from the bank stating that their joint account money was all withdrawn from the bank. When she called her husband, the phone was off. She fainted and woke up on the hospital bed with a policewoman by her side, who apologized for rushing her with all the questioning at the state she was in, but she needed to know if she knows the whereabouts of her husband. But her answers raised eyebrows, and a case of assault and rape was opened against Adam, Noah's father. The social worker who was working on Noah's case was kind, and Noah opened up and told him everything, including how his father would sometimes try to put his thing inside his anus and a whole lot of things that he did to him. They further checked in the systems of the Department of Health and found out that Adam, Noah's father, had tested HIV positive a year ago and was on medication already. 2 weeks passed with no one knowing the whereabouts of Noah's father. But the investigator reported that he had left TGE country illegally under a false name. According to the investigation, he was hiding somewhere in Mozambique. One day, Tuesday, investigator received a call from the Mozambique Police Services to inform him that they have arrested Adam. He had just came into a certain nightclub just after midnight, thinking everyone will be drunk enough to mind their own business anyway. He was disguised with long beads and long dreadlocks like a German, but someone had recognized him on as a wanted person on social media and alerted the police. And when Adam was now in his own country at the interrogation room, another police officer asked him, "Why did you do all those things?" "You would not believe me if I tell you his response. I found out that I had contacted him from our helper who used to take care of Noah, our son, and lost hope in women. My wife also didn't have time for me, as she was always at her restaurant thinking about the diseases. Made me to not care about anything anymore. That's why I was even able to take care of Noah, 'cause I was no longer working on my business also. I was just pretending to work and all my clients left. Which is the reason why I withdrew all the money from our joint account, 'cause I was no longer making money of my own. That was the response from the bloody narcissist. One of the policewomen who was there asked why he had to involve a 2-year-old in his mess, especially his own child. And he was like, I now hate everyone on this planet anyways, just lock me up. And that police was like, I know this kind of behavior that this criminal is portraying. Medically they call it NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. People who suffer from this disease feed on hurting other people and installing pain everywhere they go. Their biggest victims are the people closest to them. May it be wives, husbands, kids, girlfriends, boyfriends, friends, colleagues. Even your own parents can cause pain and destroy you all your life, so you suffer spiritually, financially and socially. But the way I see it, the word NPD has been glamorized. Narcissism is not a disease, it's a demon. A demon of pain, and it's everywhere. You don't need to provoke that person for him or her to hurt you, NOP. Some plan this from the very first day they meet you or from the day you were born. But let's not waste time and lock this bloody narcissist away, 'cause there is no cure for narcissism. Margaret and Noah received counseling and had already started taking their medication. Margaret explained to Noah that Daddy has been taken away to a very far away place because he is not a good person and that he will never hurt him again. He assured Noah that if anyone hurts or threatens him again, he must tell him immediately so she can call the police to lock them away. And Noah was like, I'll tell you, Mommy, I promise. Adam got arrested for rape, assault and fraud. After 2 months Noah started attending creche full-time and Margaret went back to her business. But this time she was working less shifts and had already hired a full-time manager with experience, so she can take care of Noah properly. That's all from me today. If you found this story educational, please like and subscribe to my channel to be alert of our next story. Bye.